Mic check? Okay. So this appears to be working now, right? Mic check? Okay. So yeah, so that's working. Yay, audio, yay! One of these days I'll just get this to work. If you see here, I'm futzing with Pulse Audio. I really should just do a show about futzing with Pulse Audio, except for, nobody really knows enough about Pulse Audio to make this work here. Dirty Jersey represent, yeah. Dirty Jersey represent, how you doing? How you doing? Alright, so, anyway, back here, Mike Trouble as always, yeah, Jack, this is, welcome to Archvile, where we're going to do a little bit of gaming. We're going to do a little bit of Linux stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun. Right here, it's a nice hot summer day. I am slowly sipping on a gin and tonic. Because I guess that's how we roll in JC. Alright, first thing up for today is I'm going to show you a little bit about Ninja OS. One of the many things I have to do with Ninja OS is like many distros, I roll my own custom kernel. Why roll my own custom kernel? Because there's certain things in it, just the components you want. You certain settings and components that you feel are best suited to your distro, and kind of like have the fun of open sources. Or in Linux, and open source is like you kind of don't like the defaults. You don't have to completely rewrite everything from scratch. You got another one you can kind of just tweak it a little bit, just tweak it a little bit. You kind of add parts you want to add. You can take out the parts you want to take out. Linux kernel especially has a lot of options that you can tweak at compile time. So you don't have to use kind of like the same defaults. You can use kind of the general purpose defaults. I will say use your special use case. In Ninja, our kernel, we have a special use case, and our special use case is being a live CD focused on privacy, security, whatever. So we do a lot of things. You do a few things. We had the AUFS patch set because the AUFS patch set because that's how we do our live thingy with a combination of SquashFS, which is read only, and TempFS on top, which is read write, but it stays in RAM. So you have the appearance of a read write system, which is but it's on a read only system. A big drawback would be everything that you change disappears on boot because it's only on the top level, which again is in RAM. For live OS, when you know the whole live OS concept, that's actually a good thing. So anything you change in the operating system doesn't get saved. No usage tracks get saved. Or if you just kind of want to screw around, or if you want to test out settings, or you want to abuse the system, and you don't want to have to worry about trying to get back to where it was, you could just reboot it, and there you go. It also guarantees, regardless of what you've done, again with that, it'll be the same system every time you boot it, which is really useful because, especially with troubleshooting, it's people go, oh, what do you do? What you did previously doesn't really matter because it's the same exact system when you boot it, so it kind of makes troubleshooting a little easier. So, if you see here, where it says this, Python Sphinx, we're not talking about the Sphinx in Egypt, we are talking about documentation program in what's it called? Arch. This does some whatever it does, and to generate the docs package. And recently, I just moved this package from Sphinx 1 to Sphinx. As if you will see here, let's check the version here. Python. Okay, so this is version 3.12. Previously, I had uninstalled Python Sphinx 1. Pacman. Let's do SS, big S for sync, little S for search. Shift insert for post. And there's nothing. Because I deleted this, and this package has actually been purged upstream. Silver, cache, Pacman, packages, right here. This is where you keep all packages. They will be saved until you tell them to delete it. ls all, grep, Sphinx. Okay, so there's a lot of Sphinx programs here. So you'll notice there's a package called Python Sphinx 1. Python Sphinx 1 was version 1 of the program. It was kept because People did some the what's it called, the people who maintain Python Sphinx did some funny stuff. They went into the funny thing, and I'll tell you what they did. All right. That's important. We'll get back to that in a minute. So what we'll see here is we'll open up a terminal here. This is, you'll see there is the package build here. Let's start fresh. So let's remove the source and package directory, which are generally used by make package. This might take a while, but let's clear these. Yes, Pronto likes why. Well, this kind of runs. Does anybody have is there any questions or comments from the peanut gallery? I like Pulse Audio too, Pronto, but sometimes it's a mystery how this all works. Pulse Audio is great. Pulse Audio is responsible for, I should say, Pulse Audio is great. It's great software. It's responsible for the Linux, modern Linux desktop being a world-class desktop, an advanced desktop, a desktop you can edit audio with, a desktop that actually will be considered good with media. Pulse Audio is part of that, so I shouldn't give it too much crap. If you have to configure with OSS or base or just base also, it would be a nightmare. It would be really hard to do anything advanced. Pulse Audio lets you give you a channel per program. It lets you easily route one program to one sound card in case you have multiple sound cards. You have to ask, what do you have multiple sound cards? If you have a USB headset, right? Like let's say you're doing either corporate or if you're doing things like TeamSpeak or Ventrilo or whatever. With those programs, you can just say, okay, well, we're just going to put the headset, which is its own sound card, on your comms program, and then your stereo will run on something else, or some things will run on something else. And if you screw with DJ software at all, you're thankful for Pulse. So here we go. So what we did now is originally we had Python. We had the latest version of the Ninja OS kernel right here that we have compiled is 4.45. So what we're going to do now, the first thing we do here is we check, is this the latest? Let's check out the website, big one, kernel.org. This is the Linux kernel's website. Let's check this one out. So we're not looking at mainline, we're not looking at stable, we're looking at this one, 4.5, because we're tracking this one here. Oh goody, there's a new kernel version out here, which is newer than here. But on top of that, we need to say, does this mesh with the with all of our patch set? Because if you'll see some, what's it called? All the other patches here into AUFS, 1000 hertz kernel timer because it's better for media, and we have this, the dash hardened patches, which are from the Linux hardened kernel. So before we just go use the upstream kernel, we have to make sure the Arch Linux website right here. Let's check Linux, Linux hardened here. There's a URL for here. And here. So let's check releases. And here in releases. So now we're going to see what's their latest 5.4 kernel, right? I did this all earlier today, but we're going over this on cam just so everyone sees the process here. Process here. So we see the latest 5.4 kernel is 47. So here we can put this as 47 right here. What? I had 48. Oh, I'm sorry, 48. That's right, we had 48 here. The latest one is 48. So 48. And then you do make package G, which if this wasn't downloaded, this would just download like all the patches. And what's it called? Give the hash sums for all the packages. So you didn't see me here. Control Shift C, copy. The hash the same because I already did this part. A few other interesting parts of this. I set the date in January 1st, 1970. Yuck, 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 yuck. Yes. We're set up to World of Warcraft. You will see a little World of Warcraft playing in a bit. And hopefully next month is a special treat for you. You will watch my other co-founder, other DC2 co-founder, Cypocket, kick my ass in Exonautic, which is going to be a real treat. Hopefully I'm going to be practicing because at least I don't expect to beat him. I just hope I get good enough where it actually looks interesting. And I don't suck too hard. So, what we have here, everything looks in order. So now we're going to run make package. And let it go. Normally, it depends on what type of computer this is. I have a Threadripper, so this thing will blow through a kernel compilation in a matter of minutes. I first started compiling a kernel, let me tell you, the first time I tried to compile a kernel, at this time it's 2020, maybe about 8 years ago. The machine I had, it would literally take hours. It would literally take about like 4 or 5 hours. So at the time, I just set it going. Literally had it running on a server, fork it to the background, use screen, come back at the end of the day. The kernel was compiled. So let's see where it goes. Spoiler alert, this is gonna fail. Bam! Oh, you see the red? Oh no, we're crashing, we're burning, we're crashing and burning. Oh my god! The humanity! Where's Ink Commander? When you need him, where's Ink Commander? Go light up our stove. So you saw that right there. What's gonna happen? You see that red. This is gonna take a minute. This is because the documentation is not in order. Bam! And here we go. Failure to build. Wham! So what we do here is we scroll up. And we look for error messages. See any error message? What's good nowadays, right? What's good nowadays is what you're supposed to do with error messages. And when I preach this, like with every terminal, right? Every terminal in the past, you scroll up, and bam! You see that one? You see how this little red got your eye? See, this is why I tell people when you write terminal programs, right? Don't be afraid to use terminal colors, and especially with errors, right? When you especially do things like match brackets with colors, and color code different sorts of information, and always use red for an error. I'm telling you why, because you scroll like this, it's a lot of data here. All of a sudden, this little bit of red caught my eye, right? And this told me to stop scrolling because this is where my what's it called? Caught my eye. So use terminal colors. Almost all terminals that ever made are all virtual terminals. They all support colors. So bam, we see your error right here. Cannot import. Extension from CD domain. This is a CD domain extension from this right here. So this is kind of like most of what you do. Sphinx.domains. See with this is right here. When you go into Egypt, this is why they blew his fucking nose off. No, I'm just kidding. That was long beforehand. The actual reason was Napoleon's troops got drunk. So anyway. You can see here by the visitor links that I banged my head against this afternoon. So we can it'll we figured this. This is DuckDuckGo, throw it in a search engine, and it looks like somebody already filed a bug report. The next question is, how do they fix this? After updating Sphinx packages, building HTML docs is possible. I got the error message. Cannot import this. Here's the fix, right? So this is the fix. We're gonna do this in a second, but here's actually upstream. This is what they had here. Among other regular expressions, has been removed. C function printers sig re among other regular expressions has been removed from Sphinx in commit such and such These are used in the Linux kernel HTML documentation scripts. When trying to compile the HTML documentation, it leads to this same error, right? Upstream, this is the actual upstream package. Bam. Right here. This is what a good bug report looks like. This is what you're supposed to do, correct? This is correct bug reporting. Let me tell you, so, well, what's it called? This is exactly how you're supposed to do it. The Sphinx implementation is improved by now, so you can just get away with just removing all that. So basically, it's just what happens is they just removed something, they broke it, and F you guys. So what are we going to do here, right? So going back here, when we have here, let's take the, what's it called? This is an interesting way we're going to look at things. As we have this guy here, Sphinx workaround patch. Because I noticed that upstream right here, where it's Linux hardened, right, source files, package build, I noticed that they had this. What is this? This is that. So the first time I tried maintaining that, well, this didn't work. The patch just didn't take on this one. So now, it looks like we're going to have to make our own patch. And this, my friends, is how you make a patch. Or more specifically, how do you...
Hey, just move your screen video a little bit to the left so we can see the chat. Otherwise you're great.
Okay. Bam! Stream video moved to the chat. Okay. So here we are here. This source. This source. And where is this right here? Documentation. A lot of documentation. There's a lot of documentation. And then we're going to take this file right here called config. Actually, no, before we go back here, the Sphinx. So right here, we have this one open right here. Documentation. Alright, cool. So here we have the documentation, right? Actually, before we do this, before we edit this, hit Control-C, hit Control-V. Now we have a copy, rename. You see what I'm doing here? A similarly named file. And we're going to open this one. And actually, no, we're going to leave the original one alone, and we're going to edit the copy. So what we're going to do for the copy right here is, you see CD domain, right? We don't apparently this builds without CD domain. Goodbye. Now then, let's edit this. So yes, this is a little bit of Python. Just doesn't. 81st character. We'll let that slide. Whatever. So we'll get to this one in a minute. All right, we'll get to this. We'll get to this script when we're done. So here again, let's open another terminal here at this location. In case anybody was wondering, there is a script. There is a plugin called Nautilus Open Any Terminal, where you can open any terminal from Nautilus instead of just GNOME Terminal. There's a few extras. I maintain this repo, a few extra stuff just for GNOME. I guess it's not important now. So here we're going to do, right, here's how you generate a patch with the diff command. Diff-u. The U gives you these pretty looking ones, which make a really easy to read patch, the same form of patch as this. And then we're going to type in config.py config 1.pi. Huh. Okay, 1 second. It's not found. Oh, it's conf. Conf. Oopsies. Conf. Pi. Conf dot 1.pi. Just when you said like the order kind of does matter, because you want to make sure that it's removing the old one. So just double check, and if you get the order wrong, like which one goes first, just swap them. It doesn't, you know. So you can tell this one right here is the 2 lines, doesn't include C domain. So just put here, including this little @ sign right here, and right here, this is our Sphinx workaround patch, right here, if you can see this here. And all the way up to here, it gives you the coordinates, and it gives you what it's replacing here. And this right here is just a little context for the diff. So hit the Control S for the what's it called? Save button. Because the Sphinx workaround patch has been changed, we're going to do make package G. This will regenerate all our hashes. You see this one, you know, this one changed right here. And now, if you noticed here, when it says prepare, there's a for loop which will automatically just will just patch all the sources in a row. So anything that's named .patch, according to this one. So basically for everything in source, if it's not patch, it's just going to continue. But if it is called, if it has .patch, what's going to do is it's just going to apply this line right here. This is all it's you know, for everyone that's. You know, that's what this loop's going to do. So you don't have to literally put up a line for everyone. This one just doesn't, because it's the kernel panic. It's a lot of patches. So again, RNRF, source and package. Because we're high tech, right? Check this out. Check this thing out right here. There's my cyberpunk lighter. Fully electric. Where's my lighter? Okay, that's done. Looks like this is done. Smoke breaks over. This should compile. Also, it's really good having like a modern system you can compile with -J20. Because let me tell you, that's amazing. Kernel Panic, that's who! Hey, I didn't work yet. This funny snake language. Python's a really funny. Okay. So this one didn't work. The patch didn't take. Let's go check this out. As you've noticed right here, maybe that's got something to do with it. Let's see. Let's take a look. Jack is playing. So let's actually see what it says right here. Source. Let's open this right here. Sphinx workaround patch. US DEFU give us another whirl. Try doing this until try doing this until either I get it right or keep on hitting my head against this one. And it goes. And it looks like the patches work. The patch is patched. So we know. And we still got an error somewhere. Still some red. Let's see if let's see what you call it. Let's see what actually happens with it this time. Let's see what it complained about this time. Oh, yeah, it didn't like this thingy. So, let's try it again. Whoopsies! Funny snake language. Yeah, I got bit by the python. Alright. Let this run again. That's good. Good thing we have N Commander in my chat. He gets to bust my balls because I bust his balls in his show. And it's also, you know, he's what you call it? It's just he's my phone or friend option in case I really get in trouble. Patches, sets config. So. It goes, no red. Oh! We'll see what that one is in a second. Alright, so let's see what this one says right here. Cannot import no URI. Alright, let's take a look at this one right here. Huh? From Sphinx. No URI. And there's okay, now where is the no URI bit? Okay, so we can't find this now. We'll take this slug, right? We know this is in documentation. Now we can use grep -R and it'll tell you what file actually has no URI in it. cannot import what's it called, no URI from Sphinx environment. So you'll see the file here. From Sphinx environment, import no URI. Let's actually take another look here. Let's find. Let's see if it's a packet. Let's actually see if this is a package, because this looks like it's actually a Python package. So let's see if there's something named no URI that we have to. If anyone wondering what this yay is yet another Pac-Man wrapper. This will actually search AUR. Huh. So now, let's actually see what Sphinx packages are installed. QS, Q for query and S for search, Sphinx. Or more specifically, you know, these two Sphinx packages are the ones it says it needs. So Pac-Man let's take a look here. It's a little big. Not in this one. So where is this importing from? From Sphinx to Sphinx. C, D, E. Let's go back to the search engine. Let's see if we could And Commander, you have any ideas? How does this work? So this one here, right? Let's actually test this right here, because this is an import. What we can do here, right? Let's open up idle. This is basically this is a Python shell with a lot of extra features. So, just to make sure, it's exactly the same. No URI, function is missing. It's not there. Python, Sphinx. And it's supposed to be there. It's just not. do a more broad search. Depreciated APIs. Let's take a look at this. Oh, 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 oh. Looks like it was depreciated. Nobody loves it anymore. Sphinx environment, no URI. So it was depreciated. Nobody appreciates it anymore. All right, no, oopsies. Okay, I see. So, kind of didn't know use the tab function to get what actually is in the Sphinx module. You can import it here, right? So let me show you what I'm doing right here now. Here, I have no idea what all the sub modules of Sphinx are. So I type in this fourth Sphinx. I type in Sphinx, and then you can use this to kind of brute force kind of methods, because you hit the tab and it will show you everything. So instead of error, it was errors. So just to make sure, let's restart last. So from Sphinx errors import no URI, and bam, there you go. The command completed successfully. So no. So there is now a no URI function in a little Python shell. So getting back to here, that means this one here, auto markup, Sphinx environment. We just need to change that to errors. So like before, keep let's copy auto. Copy just make sure Sphinx errors, no URI. Again, now that that seems to work, we're going to diff u. We're going to take all of this, right, when it says Sphinx workaround patch. We're just going to paste it right back on the bottom here, right? And like the one up here, right, what we're going to do, we're going to, what's it called? We're going to put the paths here. Just make it look like the one at the top. Date's not in that one, so date won't be on this one. So this kind of looks good. This kind of looks like the one on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. You have to remember. You have to delete the source. What you call it, directory. Because if you don't delete the source, it's going to try applying the patches over itself, and it's going to fail. So it goes. Whoops. Okay, so another error that I made right here with auto markup 1 here. There's no auto markup 1 because you notice where this one is both the same here. What I didn't do is I didn't say, okay, we're doing the same file. So let's do that one because we changed the file. Let's redo the hash. And let this run. And now we're just going to hope that right here, that Sphinx environment no URI and Sphinx errors no URI is going to be the same thing. Hopefully, or similar enough that this is actually going to work. It should work, right? Because I have a feeling this is just like an actual. Oh, I see what happened. That's right. The full directory here, it's in a subfolder called Sphinx. Whoops. Start calling this Sphinxter. This is a. We're just gonna start calling Sphinxter because it's a fucking asshole. All right, let's do this again. RM, RF, source package. I'm at a booze. And now let's open the file system monitor because you can see I have 24 virtual cores. And when it gets going, it's probably going to be running about 20 of them. So it looks like the patch worked. Patch and config worked. Okay, good. We're on that one. The compile goes. This is what make J20. And this is how you fully utilize an AMD Threadripper CPU. This is a good, and looks like we caught another error. What the hell is going on here? No module names maintainers include. Who asked you? So let's just take this one right out of here. Sphinxter. Funny, funny snake language, right? Hopefully this works. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Yes! What's it called? Hella Monster asks the top level directory of the patch file name is the same. It has to be the same. The top level directory has to be the same because you see here, when in the prepare function, right here, this is in prepare, the for loop is all the patches get executed from the same directory. So if you see here, it's CD source name. So in the top level directory, it has to be the same. So it just iterates through like whatever is named .patch in the sources. So it has to be. So that's why you have to include the directories here. I hope that answers your question. Does that answer your question, Hella? Hopefully this works. Hopefully. Yes. The second from the last one, this one has a different directory name. It's because this file, auto markup, is in the subdirectory called Sphinx. The document, this is the same structure here. This I input and write doesn't really matter too much, but this Sphinx is just a subdirectory. As you'll see here, there's a subdirectory called documentation. I guess not. It's doing something, doing the thing. So it looks like it's going. This should work. Oh, yeah. That's a good question of why. I'm not sure why it did that way. I'm pretty sure that's not the directory. That's definitely not the directory. So if you ever see right here where it says patch, that NP1, that P1, what's that 1 stand for? That 1 means they strip off the first subdirectory right here. So that gets stripped by patch. So it looks like this is going merrily chugging along. This is basically eating all the CPU on a Threadripper. There's also note this is the same. This is not the exact same CPU as the little brother of the one that Linus Torvalds himself uses, and Greg Crow Hartman. They have the 64-core Threadripper, which just has with 256 gigabytes of RAM. So they can compile the Linux kernel and under a minute. This one shouldn't take too long, but this is only the 12 core 24 thread. let's let me move this over here a little bit. Move them up here. Get like a better feel for like the what the yeah, looks like this is going. Hopefully this is going. Cross your fingers. Get a nice view of kind of the overview of just how much CPU resources I have and how much resources this is actually using. So when I actually, so for example, I'm not actually compiling the Ninja OS kernel. The only thing right now here I'm doing is I am doing I am doing maintenance on the package build, the package build scripts for what I will push to the Git repo for the Arch packages for Ninja OS. Is all I'm doing here. Later on, I have 2 virtual machine compile boxes, which I use. Compile boxes which I actually do the compiling on. So that's actually, so all the compilation is containerized in 2 virtual machines. One of these days maybe I'll redo this in like Docker or just use a chroot or something like more clever where I can get more of the CPU power. Another thing I want to talk about here is you might see something weird that on Arch Linux, the only thing officially supported by Arch Linux is x86-64. What's it called? The only thing upstream, we only release images for x86-64 because that's all Arch supports. However, this i686, we used to support that in the past when Arch supported this. You can still compile the kernel against Arch Linux 32, and here Pentium 4 is against Arch Linux 32 as well. We maintain We maintain repos. I don't have a compile box for Pentium 4. Pentium 4 is an interesting architecture, but I do maintain the package build. In the future, I would like to have a Pentium 4 port of Ninja OS. The problems with this and why I don't release for i686 anymore is because Arch Linux 32 is significantly different from and of not of the same caliber as Arch Linux, that I can't actually release a direct port of Ninja OS on for either of these. I still maintain this repo. I've been maintaining the i686 repo long before Arch discontinued. It now got rebased against i686, against Arch 32. Oh boy, there's some red. So we might have an error in a minute. We'll see if this actually builds. But the cool thing about this March Pentium 4, which is almost why you have this is going to catch anything, especially like your early Intel Atom chips, which is not necessarily x686, but this is okay. So those are red, but that's warning. I'm looking at it quickly. Don't ever do that. If you ever warnings, make them yellow or something other than red. Red should be errors only. Errors like show-stopping errors, like when you scroll through it, you're looking for like what actually blew up your code, why it doesn't run. Red, if it's red, like somebody's, if it's the reason why it's like only critical errors, you should only use red for critical errors and showstoppers. Everything else use yellow. But anyway, the cool thing about Pentium 4 is almost all modern machines will run on Pentium 4. The original Pentium 4 machine was 2001. Even all 32-bit machines after that pretty much had or compatible with this. So all this is it adds the SSE2 instruction set. If you're not familiar with the SSE2 instruction set, is kind of a turning point in single instruction, multiple multiple data. It's one of those. It's widely used in a lot of things when you talk about media and media optimization tools. So if nothing else, before SSE 3, 4.0, all the modern AVS extensions, SSE2. If you get something running SSE2 and you optimize for SSE2, you can make much better media performance, squeeze much better media performance out on older hardware. You could possibly make doing things like watching or editing movies or sound or doing media stuff on such old hardware. It might actually make it possible. which is why it's kind of an interesting format. It would be a decent fallback instead of going all the way back to i686. i686, I don't understand why people still release i586 and 46. Those machines are completely ancient. Most of the modern Intel architecture, what we consider like a modern computer, really started with the Pentium Pro. First out-of-order instruction superscalar processor was the i686. There's not really modern anything you're going to run these days, which PC chip which is not going to have the i686 instruction set. So this is why Arch did this, is to get better use out of, when it originally started it was i686 only, to get better use out of Pentium 2s and 3s, which at the time were nearing obsolescence but not quite. Which is again these days why Pentium 4 is kind of so important. So there's that rant. I think we can finally yeet Sphinx 1 to the curb. ARM needs some loving too. And Commander! There's a fine gentleman in the chat by the name of N Commander, who does another show here on DEFCON 201. Perhaps he can give our ARM some loving. I don't know. I think that's more his department. As far as this goes, what's it called? Jokes aside, the reason why I don't have any of the alarm stuff, Arch on ARM stuff here, is again, it comes down to target machines, right? What ARM chips are you actually going to run Ninja OS on? Are you going to run on a Raspberry Pi? Are you going to run it like on one of those Beagle boards or whatever? The next question is probably not, because the thing is, though, then I'm going to have to recompile everything against those, and that's going to be even more of a chore. That's going to be even further from this. The other problem with ARM is i686. These are all like x86 has a generic kernel, and x86 or Pentium 4 kernels can run everything. This is going to run on all 64-bit x86 chips without exception. It's all the same architecture. It's not just the same CPU. It's also like the same firmware, same chipset, same architecture. ARM, no matter like with the kernel, it might be all the ARM CPU, but the actual firmware and boot and the actual even the actual kernel packages are going to need to be different. These days, what's it called? I think they've narrowed it down to now there's families. You don't have to build for every specific kernel for every specific chip, custom kernel for every specific chip just to get it to run. But it's still families. You still don't at the point have a universal universal ARM kernel. You can't do that. But the fact that you can't do that means it's kind of hard to do that with a live OS. So the whole point of a live OS is to take the live OS stick. And I'll just say let's. Even better yet, I have the one I use here. This is the stick I use for development right here. I use this for development. You take your USB stick, and then you plug it into like a random machine or a laptop or whatever, and you expect it to just work, right? You know, I kind of deliver just work pretty well with Ninja OS. I really do. It's really as good as you're going to get. Most of the drivers will just work. I test this on like a decent variety of machines. It's been observed to work with NVIDIA. It's been observed to work with Intel and AMD. So, and what's it called? The only thing, nowadays that I ship x86-64 with, it's not going to work on a few select Intel Atoms, which were kind of made after, after in about 2010, where they decided that the first generation Atoms, they were going to do 32-bit chips when everything else for the last 5 years has been 64-bit only. If it wasn't for those, it would basically work on anything mostly anything you'd actually still accomplish in production. Mostly everything. Sometimes you do occasionally see old Pentium 4 boxes in production, but that's almost the oldest. The other thing I want to talk about, right, is Pentium 4 was just coming out at the same time computers were exploding. I mean, When you talk about i6-86 like Pentium Pros and Pentium 3s, brand new, those are still very expensive machines. People forget about this, but like all this old hardware when it first came out, the amount of them actually produced, I'm pretty sure, at least in my theory, was far less. These machines were very expensive when they came out, and very a little distribution. So kind of catering to these old machines that kind of everyone's kind of like replaced by now. There's a few of them, as opposed to like kind of later machines. Even when they were new, they were kind of cheaper. So there's going to be more of them out in production. Larger swath of the population, larger target demographic is going to have these newer machines, with the exception of the first generation Atoms. Are the only reason why you even need to keep 32-bit on the PC around. And of course, it'd be really great if we could do Pentium 4, because you target them with Pentium 4, and which means anything you plug it into, you get a little bit of media performance. But that's a pipe dream because we really can't get, again, when it comes to why not ARM, you get the whole reason why I can't really support, I can't really support these fully like in production. I can support the package build, but I still can't ship. And then ARM, I'd have to like literally support like every device here. So that's like a lot of work for. So like that essentially be like a lot of work for what's essentially no gain. Cause, essentially a lot of work for again compiling kernels for things it'll never run on. Hope that answers your question. Now we're gonna let this compile. And as this compiles, I'll let you guys watch the output screen. Let me just turn the webcam off for 1 second, and I'm gonna go fix myself another drink. Ugh. Alrighty, guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, looks like I'm out of the gin. I get one more glass out of this. Alright, refilled my fucking gin. And tonic. So, let's see where we're at here. Am I paying attention to what Apple Pronto 185 want to know? Am I paying attention to what Apple has in plan for the yard? Kind of half yes, half no. I've had precisely one Apple device my entire life, right? I'll tell you, Apple makes it's great hardware, it's great fit and finish. They do their job. They research all the hardware it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to do. I was deployed. This is years ago. I was deployed to Iraq, right? He's still in the army, right? Deployed. I had this little cheapo knockoff MP3 player, right? It was about the size of like one of those iPad minis, but it was like a lot thicker. I had it, right? It stuck right in between like the plate and what's it called, magazine of 5.56. What happens is I'm snoozing off in the MRAP and smash, and it gets smashed, and it's busted. And I'm like, it's great. What do I do now? How do I rock out to the tune? How do I rock out the tunes now? So I go to PX, and the PX is Big Apple section. I'm like, why not? Cut my prejudice against Apple. So like I go and I buy one of those iPod minis. Those little one. It was a slick looking thing. It's actually great.
And make sure you read the chat and shout out the people who follow us.
All right, cool, awesome. Thank you, Sir Willington, for following us on Twitch. Okay, and also for Levitanin for following us on Twitch is So I get the thing, right? It's maybe about half the weight. It's paper thin. I'm like, wow, this is really neat. And I turn it on and scrolling through the menu. And the hardware is amazing, and the menus are just where they should be, and everything is it looks great. I'm like, wow, maybe I'm more prejudiced against Apple. Maybe these things are like, maybe it's a little too hard on them, right? So I go, right, I have this Panasonic Toughbook. I've had my Panasonic Toughbook out on cam. I'm not bringing it out. Plug it in, right? And all of a sudden, it kind of detects that, I had Winamp running. I had like tunes running on Winamp and a headset, and then all of a sudden it detects that there's Winamp is running my this. So all of a sudden Winamp's like, oh yeah, it's great, you got an iPad, and copies everything over, right? Great. Unplug it, and the iPod just bricked itself. It somehow was able to figure out that it got synced with something else that wasn't an iPad, or not iTunes, right? Thank you, Tamagotchi, for following us on Twitch. That's a really clever one. I like that, Tamagotchi. Speaking of which, it's a Tamagotchi, and we have Zelda right here in pieces. If you as seen in what's it called, PAX East. Here's a little Ponagotchi in a parts cabinet with the battery unplugged. This is where we keep her when we're not doing trade shows. So, thank you for the follow. Glad you have it. Yes, Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass. I guess not anymore, because they got bought out, and no more llama ass whipping. So what they really should have done, right, was like what Netscape done, kind of like when Netscape kind of got bought out. And, the first thing that the first thing that Netscape Navigator did was when they got bought out. Is he's like, oh fuck it, we're just open sourcing everything. Oh wow, and bam, we're getting to the package. Looks like this compiles. All right. Give us a few more minutes to patch up. So this looks like this compiles. So this looks like this is actually a valid working install. And I don't have enough lines in the terminal to go back and see what was broken. Note to yourself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do maintenance on a AUR package. Yes, AOL got them first. Just like so Winamp hasn't been whipping any llama's asses recently. That was my go-to for many years. I was actually using it not since 1.0, I think 1.1 or 1 something, way back in like the early 90s or mid 90s. But their playlist handling isn't was always broken. I don't know. For the past couple of years, I've been on either Banshee or Rhythm Box, so worked pretty good years ago. I don't use VLC for everything. I kind of use VLC as kind of like the fallback when just things don't work. VLC will Cipruso has a valid point. The VLC will just run on everything. It'll open everything. I guess I won't really say I haven't really done too much management, like actual like palette playlists and metadata management. But if you double click on a file and set to VLC, it'll open. Okay, cool. So it looks like here the package compiles, right? You have packages. So what we're going to do now, make a source info file. We really don't need to, because this is not being thrown in OR. Force of habit. So all we have to do now is commit to Git. And build. And I hit the tab key and the autocomplete's taking a minute. You can close this out now. If you're a filthy Helen Monster says Amarok or Clementine is nice these days. If you're a filthy KDE user, sure. Hashtag, it's a joke. It's a flame war. It's supposed to be funny. Okay. Package build, and of course our new one, Sphinx workaround patch, git commit, updated for kernel 4.5.48 notes, added new patch for Sphinx tomfoolery. That's about it. Push the slipstream. Let's move everything. Let's move everything from .38 to prevent everything from cluttering up here. So there we go. That's how you do kernel maintenance. Oh, why aren't you special? I'll joke. I tend to like Banshee because I tend to use Rhythm Box for actual usage. Banshee, I still have a patched version installed because there's nothing better than the Banshee metadata cleanup tool. It seems to really work well for. As promised, now we get back. Let's clean this all up here. Let's get back to more World of Warcraft. Note, Exonautic, Side-Pocket will be practicing up. I'll be practicing up. Next time we will go head to fucking head with Exonautic, and hopefully I don't lose too badly. Hopefully. The funny thing about Exonautic is I'll explain more like next time. But Exonautic, among other things, is what's it called? Exonautic, among other things, is in case you don't know, I'm pretty sure. Yes, Cipruso. Actually, you know what? I just might open this up. I might get a few players here. Cipruso, I know you from IRC. We're friends of friends. So a few people. Pronto, Cipruso, friends of friends. Okay, we might get a few going here. So I remember a couple of years ago, there used to be like I don't know how this is now, but there's a few active servers, right? And there's some people who just play all the time, get really good. And I remember just rage quitting after it was like a one server, and it was just like all people with like My Little Pony skins. And you know, after you get fragged by like you put like your name is Jack the Ripper and like these big things, and like yeah I'm badass, and you get fragged. and then you get fragged like one too many times by like Rainbow Dash, and you're like, oh, oh. It's just like, eh. Okay, so here's World of Warcraft. So, here I am. There's my transmore kit. Is to adjust the sound here. Audio stream on. That's silence. World of Warcraft is good. Blah blah blah. Alright, this is gonna load. Yeah, they recently switched like most of this over to DirectX, DX12. So everything kind of moves a few fraps slower because it's DX12. So mind you, right here, we're running on AMD hardware. Give it a minute. It's usually never this slow. Oh, Jesus, really? It's never this. So what I have here, got some money in the auction house. As you can see, I've been making gold. So what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to finish go back to my garrison. I'm going to go sell the rest of these off. And I'm going to finish grinding rep with Exodar he is taking the frames to Mordor. Yeah. Urban Terror, great old school shooter. Nexus 6, I don't know what you mean by old school shooter. In my opinion of an old school shooter is Doom 1. Doom 1, Duke Nukem 3D, and Rise of the Triad. That's old school. Maybe the newest that you can consider old school in my book is Quake 2. Everything after like Quake 2 and Counter-Strike 1 is just some newfangled bullshit. Some other shit's running that I could probably just go. Let's do a repair here. All right, let's try. Let's put everything back in the auction house where it belongs. There's a lot of these are like obscure mats from like 5 X packs ago, so keep on throwing them out there. But we did have one. I had that one item that was like kind of like somewhat like $3,000 bucks. Shoulder parrot. Yes. Sorry, Quake 3, a arena game made into a freeware game. Exonautic. Yes, Unreal. Actually, you know what? I do have Unreal somewhere. You know what? Maybe next time I'll actually start going through my book of like old games. Not right now. Let me go sell this. But next time I will. That's exactly what I will do. I will get on my old CDs and I'll show you what I actually have in CD, and we'll see if we can go actually try getting them to playing them online. Among other things, I actually do have an OEM copy of Unreal. Believe it or not. Okay, so let's just see if this should work. The one thing here about these old mats that will be you know what's really weird? It's like when you talk about like all these old like these like middle-aged pre-release games. It's kind of almost it's exciting because it's cool, but it's not exciting because they probably all had the bugs in them. And there were quite a few bugs in Unreal. I mean, I think there was an updater where you could patch it, but there were some bugs in Unreal. Okay, shit talking aside, let's see if I can kind of sell these void crystals. The mats like here, like the enchanting mats, kind of go a little quicker for the sole reason that everyone needs to grind their enchanting skill. These cores sometimes go for a lot of money, depending on what one it is. That all really depends on most of these values right now. These enchanting mats are that's mostly like for people grinding their skills, trying to get their skill up so they can do later stuff. Either that or they're doing with other things. They're doing things for transmog, which put a lot. You know, transmog has in Twinks have put like a lot of value in a lot of old engines. So for me, literally in like the past like week and a half, I started off at 30,000 gold. I literally made 50,000 gold just running old dungeons and selling the crap from the old dungeons. So I have a decent amount of bag space. Got rid of that all. I already have my you like Duke Nukem? You're a Duke Nukem fan? Okay, let me try this one. I'm Duke Nukem. Your ass, your face. What's the difference? Blow it out your ass. How's that? That's my Duke Nukem imitation. You know. Oh, cool. Cool, Pronto. Cool. Okay, here. So right here we're now in Burning Crusade. Back in Outlands. So this is going to make it easy because Outlands makes it really easy because they give the most amount of rewards for dungeons. And not only do they give the most amount of rewards for dungeons, they put all the dungeons right next to each other. So in this whole complex right here, there's 4 dungeons. And unlike some of like the other places, the dungeons are really easy to find, right? You can just see here, and you can just see that all the entrances to the dungeons are illuminated, north, east, south, west, and then you can kind of just slam through them, which it should be only have to do a few of them before we ding. So right here, if you're wondering what I'm doing now, reputation, I'm grinding rep for the Alliance. The only one I don't have exalted is Exodar, so I'm just going to start running all these dungeons just one after another until basically I hit exalted. So I'm tracking it here. I have, in case I'm wondering how to do this, I have the Exodar Tabard, which will just give me rep in the dungeons. It gives quite a bit amount of rep for one bad guy killed, and some of these it's going to be as much as 25 per, some of them it's going to be as much as I have, 17 or 18. And you kind of leaf through these. Because they're low level, we can just kind of do these without any, So here we go. Always collect all the shit in here. Most appropriately, I'm just walking around here, dressed to like a ninja, with 2 Japanese short swords, or companion blades. Those W name ones, I really don't forget what the fuck they're called, but... As you'll see here, every one of these I kill, I get like 16 reputation, or 16 or 17 reputation with Exodar, and you kill a lot of them because they are low level. Let's use a special on the boss. Woohoo! 300 and... make sure you... There's quite a bit of money right here.
I need to get closer.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like the Burly Brawl from the second Matrix movie. You know, you just kind of...
I need to get closer.
Figure out where I get one of those from.
I need to throw. It's too far away.
And the boss. Kill everything in here.
It's too far away. I need to throw. It's too far away.
Oh, I have no idea. Shift click is with everything. Just force the habit, Tamagotchi. That's it. Just force the habit.
I am a gracious host. I will tend you.
Did I miss anybody? No. Looks like so that's it. It's kind of the end of that dungeon. If I had the key, oh yeah, I think everybody's got a story about getting taking over capital cities. My favor is trying to do for the Alliance quests. And then raiding all of the cities. I don't think I have for the Alliance, but let me check right now. I know I at least have a few of the cities. Under cities are a hard one to raid for the Alliance. Okay. Yeah, I have one of them. As far as one of those players versus player, you're supposed to you're supposed to get everybody's what's it called? All the other capital cities. We got everyone but the Undercity because Undercity's like a pain in the ass to run, and it's really hard. It's all the same time, you know. It's all the same time. I got you. It's really all the same. It's not really doing like this for years now. It just doesn't. All right, let's. All you have to do now. 45 degrees to the right. Shadowlands is not out yet, so when it comes out, no idea. The last couple of X-Backs have been kind of underwhelming. People go back to Classic. I have a Classic account. You might hop on there in a bit that everyone thinks it's like cooler. One of the other persons that I was supposed to play with, she only does Classic, and like her realm is full, so we're trying to work something out. Yeah, Sonautic's pretty fun.
I need a target. I'm out of range. It's too far away. It's too far away.
So even it doesn't really matter here because they're all low level, but there's like there's a few things when you play rogue. You know, you try to like one, just keep force of habit like one. One, stick around for everything. Practice force of habit of using that backstab. With casters, force of habit. Just train yourself force of habit to use shadow step behind the casters. So even when you're not really don't need to. You always try to do that force of habit. Because that is something when you play as a rogue that really does help you out. Let's make sure I'm going the right way. So you'll see me doing here, even if it doesn't matter. One of the things you do slash rogue, make sure you take your DPS and get the casters first.
I'm out of range. I need to get
Okay. This big ugly looking thingy. Tentacle rape monster. You've seen what's made head tie. Yes! The Dark Mod Thief inspired game. I have not. I've played Thief the Dark Project. And there you go. Bam. So the first time you do these in school, you just get like a whole bunch of transmog shit. But this time, I think I had already.
It's too far away. I target something first. I need to get closer. I need a target. It's too far away. I need a target. I'm out of range.
So all these skeletons, they have a caster.
Get closer.
Alright, everyone, getting close, getting close. Bam! Let's make sure I get the whole lot here. Come on, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys. So, bam. So, looks like we're at the end of here. Yeah, it's because I'm running like, on level like 120, I'm running like a level 72 dungeon, that's what, yeah, so as I'm running a low level dungeon. So it's not really like, this is basically because I'm just like grinding rep here, so. Let's go back to the garrison. Do do do. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, someone Storm Rage. There we are, Garrison. How many people we got here? Alright, so it's like I said, if you enjoyed the streams, don't forget to follow us at DEFCON 201NJ on fucking Twitter. Don't forget to follow this channel. Don't forget to donate to the Fred Hutch Foundation, because he'd really like it. Okay, back at Garrison. Now we have like a fuck ton of loot, right? So the cool about this one is we can make a decent amount of money. Repair all the ones like here that have like this coin status. They added this like relatively on. You could just kind of sell those. You'll also notice they're kind of like 1 or 2 gold a piece. It's not much. It'll pay for your repair bill. These mana potions never go for anything. The water and the food never goes for anything at all. These scrolls used to go for anything, but they won't anymore because none of them are top level, and nobody who's leveling is ever going to know what the fuck these are, and no one's going to care. So no one pays money for potions except for like top level potions, because you really don't need them unless you're like top level in the new game. Or people buy them, they're just like so cheap, it's not. So let's actually take a look at how much these are. So let's actually take a look. What we're going to do here is we know what these purples break down to. So let's just go here with auctions. They break down to these void crystals. Because sometimes it's easier to, you can't sell these because they're in the auction house because they're soulbound, which they kind of do because other people we'd be dumping a whole fuck ton of purple items on the auction house. So you can see the price of a void crystal is 4 gold and 60 cents. So we're going to look at any one of these that breaks down to void crystals. Can it go for a lot less than you would if you just vendor trash it? The next 6 you could always roll another Shadow Priest. They still have Shadow Priest. Harvester of Souls. Let's get that one. Okay, we might break down this one. Let's get rid of that one. So there's not really a possible way you can make money on any of these. So for one of these, you could try selling these on the auction house, like directly. This one, it's get rid of this one. So if things like old items aren't selling, the Enchanter's Study. This doesn't come with the game. This is something you have to build. Well, it does, but it's something you have to build. If you've ever done kind of. Once you play like Drainer, this is kind of the garrison from Drainer. This is fully equipped level 3 garrison that I kind of use as my base operations. I come back here because I made sure I have everything that you would have in a town is in my garrison. I have an auction house with the trade mechanism, so I have my own private auction house. The stables, which is kind of cool, I guess. Various places to buy general goods and repair all around here. I have basically I have my own private bank in here, and I have a disenchanter that I could just kind of use to just kind of break down kind of like old gear that I don't feel like selling for enchanting mats. And then for the enchanting mats, I sell in the auction house. I have an inn. So basically, I have like my own little private town. If anyone wants to see here, what that looks like, this is how it kind of looks. I never bothered with it. I never bothered with a World of Warcraft Pokemon. The trading post, stables, storehouse, salvage yard, Enchanter's Study, herb garden. In barracks. What you should do is just leave people working at any of the buildings, but you could leave them working on, because it always kind of grants them a little bonus. At least, and besides, you're never going to ever really run these missions again, so you really don't need these people for anything other than like working. At least with is working, you get to he becomes a store where you can purchase appearance things which kind of look like appearances. So let's go here. Let's see if we can try selling all this shit. Normally you'd think who would pay for all this shit, but let's actually see how some of this looks. Ooh, that's cool, because a lot of this, when people buy it, it's just all can be for Transmog. So actually here, let's just take this one out here, because you see this is a ring. Rings and necklaces. We're not even going to bother selling rings and necklaces, because in this cheap racer, because the rings and necklaces, there's no transmog associated with this one. So you have no idea what kind of anybody wants in their set. So you'll see some of these have a bit of a price. Oh, and because nobody's has a price on this one, so we got to buy. We know it's a weapon. We know it's two-handed. We know it's a polearm. So let's see what other polearms look like. So polearm, weapon, filter. What other polearms between? It's level 64, so we're gonna put 62 and 66. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what's kind of fashionable in this game, because like everything's so weird and people here are fucking weird. That kind of looks like that one. So I think it's the same model actually. That's about 5,000. Okay, so let's on a lark see if we can get it didn't put 48 hours, because this is going to you know, when you sell gear, make sure you sell the gear for like 2 days, as long as you can, because this isn't something that has a high turnover. This is something that people buy every once in a while. Make that even. When you sell mats, and you'll see this in a bit. When you sell okay, so here's a good one. You sell materials. 24 hours to max, 12 if you want to just pop on at peak hours, and you just want to sell it the evening if it's like kind of like middle of the week. A good strategy for selling, it's Thursday, so a good strong time to actually sell items is kind of middle of the week, because people log on in the middle of the week and they kind of work on their characters. They buy things, they grind, they whatever, log on for like 30 an hour. But when people really start raiding and dungeons and raids and PvP and really log on is the weekends. So when people are doing that, first thing that they do is they just dump all their shit in the auction house. Once they dump all their shit in the auction house, prices go down. So you always get like a slightly better deal, and there's also slightly better seller's market during the week. So here we go. You notice a few different selling prices. Another good thing to do, what they actually added in the market recently, which made this really easy, instead of just selling stacks of materials, I'll just say, sell as many as you want here, and it just gives you a per price, and then you can just specify the buy end, specify how many of each of you want to buy. So this is actually makes it a little easier. It also makes my job a little harder, because I was able to do this in my head, more or less. So everyone else's job's kind of easier, so it's more competitive. So you see quantity here, right? So you see this guy is cheaper here, there's only one of them. Typically when you talk about things like void crystals, people need more than one of these. So they're going to buy this guy's one right here, and then they're going to start buying the more expensive ones. So the first big stack right here, as you see at 465, and the first really big stack is right here. So now, if my thing was I was just really out to sell, like void crystals, I was playing a long game, and like I just didn't want to get these things out of my bag. Like now, I just want to get most of this shit out of my bag.
Jack, two quick things. One, you can remove the donation bar if you want.
Okay.
Two is you might have to reload the chat.
Okay, reload the. Chatty's reloaded. Chat is reloaded. Alright, looks like chat's reloaded. There we go. So we have it right here, 465. So if I was really here selling materials is kind of like what I did. I was really like, again, it's not EVE Online. Like you'd be more of like a trader in EVE Online where you buy low, sell high. I mean, you can do this in World of Warcraft, I guess. EVE is more designed for it, and I really like bashing invisible monsters more than I do here. If you really had like a large, high volume of crystals, or if you knew for whatever reason here it doesn't show you things like actual, not just market volume, but here you can, it doesn't tell you the market volume, but you get a good idea. You can kind of add these up in your head, and you can see what the market volume is here. But it also doesn't tell you how fast these move. But as opposed to like these, like materials like this, always move quicker than kind of individual, like the whole items. These really don't move that quickly. So here we go. We have. So here we're gonna place our order right here. But yeah, but if you were trying to sell large volumes of void crystals, you might put it like 529 or 596. More 529 because 100's a pretty large stack. If you really wanted to sell void crystals, like, and that was your thing, was just like making a lot of money in the market, you could really just buy all ice. And I've done this occasionally. It's kind of a dick move, but you could just kind of buy all these out, and you could all sell for like 10 a piece, and people will pay, and you'll get your money back and all, and then some. Yay, capitalism, right? Forget about it. So this one is... But like I said with these, I mean, like when you're doing these move so slowly, you might as well just undercut everybody. So this one's one of those where it's like, look at this, what's it called? Look at this dickhead right here. This guy's, the rest of them for over 1,000. You're selling it for 22. How about this one? How about we do this one? I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do right now. Just because you wanted to be a dick. I mean, there's undercutting, and then there's completely, like, undercutting. There you go. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like I said, like, I'm not completely trashing the price, but yeah, I can undercut a little. Because people buy one of these at a time, basically for Transmark. That's going to be it. These things move very slowly. Get these things out of inventory. And eventually they will move. Alright, so here. This is soulbound, so we can't really. These are soulbound and non-disenchantable, so we basically have to just vendor trash these. And the Arcane Dust has a decent enough sell price that
Welcome, welcome.
so we just have to get rid of those. And bam. Robo-voice follower bots work on Linux. We should look into it for Archvile. Okay, almost scared. Are those the ones that, Alright. Also, while this loads, I want to take the time, shout out for, what's it called, Safety Third. If you ever seen these stickers around, it's the same lady who does all the con merchandise. Her handle is OneDark1. So if you see the Safety Third shirt I'm wearing, let me zoom down a little bit. Man, props out to OneDark1, and she's really awesome, and she does good work. And go get a Safety Third shirt from her. I think that cost me like 25 to 27 bucks. It's another friend of ours. Alright, let's do this. Let's do the remaining amount of dungeons. So that's cool. There's a deal right here. Is there anything here that like? You done yet? Is it taking so long? Oh, should have rated this one, so... Yeah, I think I just did this one. Yeah, I just did this one. Alright, so...
I need a tunnel.
Alright, now this is a special on him. Okay, soul device. I need some. Okay.
I'm out of range. That's too far away. I need to get closer.
Why are they doing that? They're all kind of. Oh. Kneel before Zod! Fuck! Everybody's favorite effect from. Look at this guy. Right in the back. I like that effect. Also, don't mind looking for group. Fortunately, they've been rather tame today. The end comes for me.
Out of range. I don't have a target. I need to get closer.
See right there, that's exactly how you do it. You just take a shadow step right behind the caster and bam. That's how you do anti-caster with your rogue. Instead of range, that's what rogues have. Sorry to interrupt your raid. Yeah, guys. Big ugly motherfucker. That looks like it'll hurt falling somebody. Oh, what the hell is this? And summoned forth murmur they did. Powerful magics employed. But also. Right, yeah, well that's great. Which is great. We just greased the critter. So like, maybe not. Oh, come on. Why not? You're a fun guy. So level them up. Jesus Christ, looking for grip. I don't know if anybody, if you can read the chat in 2LFG, but it's about as classy as LFG generally gets. If you guys play World of Warcraft, haha. One time while I was masturbating, I said, I gotta hand it to myself. And then I laughed so hard that I lost my erection. I'm at a fucking... God. God damn it, what the nerds.
I need a target.
Boom. Oh. What? Is there some people I forgot to kill here? I want some more XP. Right. Ooh, and I got some transport. Lovely. Oh. Yeah, we'll be trying not talking about B-Disc. It's kind of no reason to bring that up. So right now, before we're going to continue, so if anybody has any questions this time, go back to my garrison and so the rest of this shit. What was I going to say here? Oh, I had something to say. There we are. Fireplace is going. Next comes the garrison.
Come, come, browse my goods.
Start offloading. Start offloading all the gray shit.
Dionysaka. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, okay. So note these scraps. You can sell them on the auction house, but there's no volume, so they never move.
Arkinan Poros.
Yeah, this goes. This goes. That would have actually been pretty nice, but that goes. That goes. Actually, that goes. These things.
Long life.
Yeah, whatever. Just gonna melt most of this stuff down for like enchanting mats. 'Cause that's what moves quicker.
What can I do for you? Be careful.
Almost forgot. One more. Jesus. Check the auction price for these. $345 versus.
It's still recharging.
It's a little more money.
Come, come, browse my goods.
Okay, looks like we ran through it.
Be well.
You know what? I think I have it in me for one more dungeon. It looks like the Nexus 6 has logged on with his level 1 Warlock. Where have you logged on? Horde, Alliance? Last egg roll, Chinese food I had for dinner. Should be one last dungeon here. Well, you know what? Let me just ice these critters real quick. I'll be over there.
It's too far away. I'm out of range. I need a target. I need to get closer. Too far away. Target.
What?
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. Too far away. I can't attack.
Wait, that says it's a hawk. That's a fucking owl.
Get closer.
I guess they really don't give a hoot about accuracy in this game. Alright, so
It's too far away.
Silence of the Owls. Let's run through this real quick.
I don't have a target.
Scary, spooky, spooky ghost!
Get closer. See the target. It's too far away. I don't have a target.
Darkfire? Shit. Big bird. Ah! Ah! The boomstick. Alright, looks like we have a little less than 2,000 to go. One bar.
Trinkets, yes. Pretty trinkets. Power in trinkets.
Anything particular noteworthy about this dungeon? Not really, no. There's nothing really. Just convenient. We're just grinding rep here. And they're yammering about politics and looking for group. Okay, so how do I? Okay, so let's go pay the Nexus 6 newbie area in Stormwind. Not quite. Fuck you. Let's go to Dalram. Yeah, I'll find him. We'll find him. Alright, well this loads. Turn the camera off and I'm going to go finish up this gin. So, 1 second, blah, 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 blah. Cam's off, you can still hear me. Let me go get some more ice. I'm going to tap off my gin. Yeah, the mic's still on, so. Alright, so. Alright.
And next time, make sure you get
Alright, so, back. Here we are in Dalaran. Dalaran. Okay, so, guys, how do you call this? Is this Dalaran or is this Dalran? Dalaran. Dalanare. Spicy meatballs. Alright, see, previous thing already. Real quick, let me just go fucking vendor trash all the trash. Real quick. A super healing potion.
I need to get
And one more thing, I have one more glass. It's right down here. Last, pouring some Tangeray. That's the last of the gin, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So here we are. So here we are, Stormwind City. One of these, another thing to do is we have I have a speedometer here. It tells me I'm moving, I fly at about 60 miles an hour. Hey, Nexus 6, you still in the starting area? There we go. That you? Alright, catch you later, Sapruso. Oh, the other warlock. There we go. Nice. Hey Nexus, which one of these guys is you? Another warlock? Buy the burning stuff. Jesus. Not here, are they? What are these level 60s doing in the... Oh, that's right. It's some cataclysm. Some cataclysm. Or shit. There used to be like the vineyard quests right here. They burned down the fucking vineyards. Some warrior. Neuromancer. Let's look for a Neuromancer right there. What's up? So, what's up, buddy? So, unfortunately, I just can't like. So there we are. Unfortunately, I just can't power level them. I used to be able to do that. You used to be able to just go like blow through bad guys and just get whoever an experience. So let's go. Where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? Lead the way, high speed. You don't have a quest over here with these guys, do you? What are you doing? These guys are like level 60s up here. Neuromancer. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get him. Get him. Get him. Alright, looks like you got the weapons. You want to get out of here? There we go.
I need to get closer.
There we go.
It's too close. I need a target.
Wait, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. 1 second, 1 second. There we go. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Get in, get in. What's next? Where are we going? All right, where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we doing? Where are we going? Where are we going? Looking for it. I have to talk to them. I have to talk to these two. Right, what two? Where are we going, dude? Post the quest. Just like link the quest in party chat. Oh wait, which chicks? Are we going? Let me see. Oh, okay. Millie's fire extinguisher. Okay, this one right here. Looking for adventure. Head out on the highway. The rogue trader. Where the hell is Millie? Entrance back there. These guys, right here, is this where you gotta go? Right here, is this where you gotta go? Really, where the hell is she's back here somewhere, right? Shit, it's been a while. Fuck is. Where is Millie? I don't. Do you remember what? Okay, let's actually go. Let's go get directions here. Let's go get fucking directions. Oh. Says it ends right. Here? Oh, oh. There you go. The canoe. Okay, we're running. Engines, where are we going? Alright, so where are we going? What are we doing now? Kill the boss in the burning area. Alright, let's get it's going on a bike trip. Yellow jackets in. Let me see. Going on a bike trip. Oh shit, everything's now... Oh, so this is going to be interesting. Alright, so where's the boss down here? Is that him? Did we miss it? Oh, it looks like a boss. There we go. Oh, so I lose all my cool shit because I'm... whatever. Still hit for 1.5 million DPS.
Need help?
Back to town, Goldshire. Is that where we're going, Goldshire? All right, let's go. Oh, come on. I like Goldshire. It's a quaint little town. This is right in the foothills. With Elwyn Forest, there's always people just dueling right here in the front because, like, there's a carnival in town, bunch of drunken hooligans. What's not to like about Knobshire? Alright. There you go. Alright, dude. Best of luck. Great difficulty with specialization. Alright. Yeah. I'm half thinking, should I start my own DC 201 guild here? Yeah, we could start our we could start a guild, but the only real question is, are we gonna name it Pork Roll or Taylor Ham? Or the Turnpike? Ah, that's a name. We can what's it called? Name the guild the Turnpike. You know, fuck this. Guild. Where is that one? Oh, how does that one work? Guess not. J, the roster tab. Guess not. Leave guild. Goodbye. Alright, looks like I'm out of this guild. Alright. Alright, so stone.
What can I do for you? Be careful.
Help you find something?
Greetings.
Four unique player signatures. Interest check. Anybody actually want to do this? Alright, cool. I mean, I think I got a good dwarf for a few characters. What are you called? The Turnpike. Jersey Turnpike. What's it called? I had an idea years ago. For, like, you get a whole bunch of people who just have like the motorcycle mount, and we'll start like an in-game MC. It'd be fucking hilarious. We could just go on runs. We could just like run around like the world with like a whole bunch of bikes. Yeah, like what the fuck you guys doing? You guys like a bike club and like in a game, and it'd be fucking awesome. At least funny. At least people used to do stupid stuff like that like years ago when I first started playing. There used to be this guild, and they all they did was they just a whole bunch of gnomes, right? And they just all get pointy hats and run around in their underpants, and they just go run by everybody. And you're like, what the hell is that? It's just the underpants gnomes. All right, cool. So we'll keep this up. Look for me. I am Jack Molotov. Everybody, I am Jack Molotov on Stormwind. The name of the guild is the Jersey Turnpike.
For the Alliance.
That's a fucking... That's a... Alright, I'm in Stormwind. I have a guild. Alright. I have a guild charter. I'm in Stormwind. Sweet shit, looking for group becomes looking for group. Oh god. Alright. Alright, so balls. Alright, so in Stormwind. Where are you in Stormwind? I thought I left it. You know, are you still in Goldshire? Copy character name. Social friends. And a friend. Alright, cool. Alright, so Stormwind City. Alright, we're in Stormwind. Where in Stormwind are you? Set note. From live stream chat. There we go. Alright, cool. So I have you added on so I have you added. No, it's really funny. You have like a friends list, and there's this chick, Verlaine, that literally, I don't think I've seen her online in like 10 years, or okay, much longer than 10 years. I ran into her and we did some quests in what you call Westfall, like literally in like 2007, and that was the last I saw her. By the main gate. All right. Alright, there we go. Neuromancer. Oh, starter account editions cannot perform that. Okay, so requested your signature to start this guild. I also can't trade with you, so otherwise I'd give you like 500 gold or something. You can't sign it? Damn it. Alright, man. Well. We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time. You know who I am in game. Just come get me. I'm kind of getting tired. It's about to log on, so as like I said, just hit me up in game. I'm on every day. You know, where I hang out in the clock tower, like the villain I look like. Doesn't that look sinister? All right. And I'm going to log. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this night's stream, and I will catch you guys later.